Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I'm talking about what the Pelicans need to do to take that next step into becoming a legit playoff contender and a very good playoff team. Because as of right now, they're just like right there. Like, they could be a playoff team, but they don't know. Like, they're just right there. They just need to take that next step to really get to where they want to be. So, I mean, in this video, I'm pretty much going to be going on how they can develop, what they need to do to really get there, and what all around could benefit this team and make them even better than they already are. So I'm getting to all that in this video. So if you do like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. I mean, the absolute world to me, and it helps more than y'all can know. Anytime you like the video, it helps push more videos out to you guys and let YouTube know that y'all enjoy my videos and that y'all want to see more of it. So if you do like the video, like I said, hit the like button. It means the absolute world to me, and it means so much to me, and I would just be so grateful if you did like the video. But without further ado, without rambling on too much, just get right into this video. Alright, so the first thing I'm beginning to for this video is going to be the development of the team, but mainly the development of Zion Williamson, because let's be honest, the future of this team is pretty much make or break on how Zion Williamson really develops. If Zion's only an all-star level player, this team will probably be an 8th, 6th round max team. But if Zion does become the superstar that a lot of people think he will be and become the next best player in the NBA, and the next LeBron like everybody say, this team could be an NBA Finals contender. So the development of Zion can make this team a okay team or make this team one of the best teams in the NBA. So, I mean, the development really does matter, but I mean, it's not just Zion's development that matters, as I mean, they do have other players like Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Jackson Hayes, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who all have tons and tons of upside and can all develop very nicely into great NBA players in the future. Now, let's break down each one of those players I just mentioned individually. Now, the first player I'm getting to is going to be Lonzo Ball. Last year, he did take huge strides in his shooting. His percentage went way up. He actually became a very good three-point shooter, and at one point he did look like a top 15, top 10 point guard in the NBA, as he had a stretch where he was absolutely killing it. Like, he looked like that number 2 overall draft pick that the Lakers drafted him with. He looked like he was fulfilling that potential. Now, if you can get that for an entire season and consistently, I mean, Lonzo Ball can easily consistently be a top 10 point guard in the NBA, if not better, if he can keep scoring and passing and just doing what he does consistently at a high level, like he showed that he can do for a short period of time. Now, if he can do that for a longer period of time, that would be huge going in that. So the fact that he already took strides last year makes me very intriguing to see if he can make those same strides, but even more of them going into this next season. And now the next player I want to get into is going to be Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, I mean, he just came out of nowhere. He didn't really come out of nowhere because everybody kept expecting him to break out. When he came out of college, he was supposed to be a superstar. And I mean, it took him a few years to develop, but last year, finally, when he was the man, he was the guy that everybody was looking at. He became that dude. Zion out, Lonzo Ball still developing, and really him being the only star on the team outside Drew Holiday. I mean, everybody was looking at him, and he's more than stepped up to the plate. He made his first All-Star appearance. He played very good. He by far had his best offensive season. He was shooting the ball confidently. He was playing with extreme confidence, driving to the goal, making strong drives, finishing at the rim, just looking like a superstar level player. And if he can keep developing like I think he will and keep making strides in his game, he can most definitely become one of the best small forwards in the entire NBA. And now, obviously, like I said earlier, Zion Williamson. Zion is by far the most important guy they need to develop, as I mean, if he can get a resemblance of a jump shot, which he had one game where he looked like a good three-point shooter, and that was against the San Antonio Spurs, where I think he hit like 4 or 5 threes in the fourth quarter and almost single-handedly brought the Pelicans back in their first game, which was absolutely crazy. But outside of that game, yes, he hit a few more threes, but he never showed any other resemblance like that. If he can just get to where he takes about 1 or 2 or 3 attempts a game and makes 1 or 2 of them, well, then this dude could be an absolute problem, because they did get to the point to where teams would be just packing the lane on him and playing completely off of him to try to slow him down, and it didn't really work because Zion still went off and looked great. And the sample size that we saw him, he looked unstoppable still, but I mean, he had moments where teams that were big and would just pack the paint, he really did struggle. So if he can get a little bit better of a ball handle, maybe get a little bit more discipline, a little bit more basketball IQ, which is going to come with experience, and maybe a little bit better of a jump shot, this dude is literally going to be unstoppable. Now, yes, Zion is already great, but he still has many places where he has to improve. Like I said, jump shooting, ball handling, and basketball IQ, which isn't a huge problem, but it is kind of a problem, because Zion shows at times that he has basketball IQ, a high basketball IQ at that, but then again, he will show times where he will just pass it to the other team, and he will try to drive on double teams and get ripped. So, I mean, that's going to come with experience, and he's going to develop that. So, I mean, if he can just develop the mental things and the small things, he is going to develop into that superstar level player that we know and want to see him to become. So, I mean, if he can do that and just show a resemblance of what he did in Duke, well, then boom, this dude is going to be a superstar, and I think he will. He's a very hard worker. He embraces the grind. He embraces hard work. So I think Zion Williamson is going to get to that point. Maybe not this year, but I am expecting to see strides and improvement in his game from the small sample size we did see when he was kind of healthy. And now, another thing, I mean, the other, like, wild cards on the team would be players like Jackson Hayes, who showed immense potential. For some reason, Alvin Gentry didn't want to play him a lot, but hopefully Stef van Gundy does want to improve and want to make him better, because, I mean, Jackson Hayes has a chance to be an elite perimeter defender. I mean, elite paint defender, not perimeter, and just a very good beast in the paint. Like, he could have potential to be an absolute double-double machine, like 15 points, 20 rebounds type guy, like, or not 20, like 15 points, 10 rebounds type guy a game. Like, that dude has immense potential going into it. I mean, he's extremely athletic, probably the most athletic center in the NBA right now. He's a beast athletically. He can block shots. He showed that in the Summer League and a little bit in the NBA. Very good at blocking shots. The only two problems with him, well, really three, his offensive game does struggle at times, and he needs to improve that around the paint. He needs to get stronger physically, as he is a very skinny guy, but I mean, strength is something you can build and something you can develop, and I'm sure he will come into this league stronger, as many rookies do come in skinny and not as strong as they are right now. And then lastly, I'm just going to go with, like, getting smarter defensively, because there's a lot of games where when he did get minutes, he would get into foul trouble because he would always try to block the shot, always try to go for that home run defensive play, when you cannot always do that. But, like, you just can't. You have to be able to just put your hands up, take a charge, do something like that, and that's going to also come with experience. So I think if Jackson Hayes can get in a lot of games, get in a lot of reps this season, and just really develop, he has a chance to be something very, very good for this New Orleans Pelicans roster. And then another guy is going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who, I mean, Walker showed lots of potential at times. Like, he could be a great scorer, but I mean, he also looks like he needs a lot of development. He's by far the farthest away out of any guys on this team, but if he does get reps, and I think the more experience and more time he gets in the NBA, he's going to get better and better, and maybe by year 3 or 4, he can legit be a good backup level point guard, if not a starting level point guard, as he did show tons of scoring potential. And if he can just get to where he's, like, a little bit smarter with the shots he takes, and just, like, overall gets better and smarter and more athletic and things like that, he has potential to be an absolute dog, because he's already very aggressive, very good on defense. He can shoot the ball confidently. The only point, he needs to get more consistent with these shots that he makes, as he can go in a game, shoot 40% from the three-point line, score 20 points, look like the best player on the court, and then come in the next game, score 5 points on, like, 1 for 8 shooting, and look like the worst guy on the court. Like, he's just extremely inconsistent, and he needs to get more consistent. So if they can work on that, and they can all develop, and the roster can develop, and Zion can develop, I do think the Pelicans can take a huge step going into next season. Now, another thing I'm beginning to reveal is going to be that they need to develop more chemistry, as everyone on this roster except Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart are playing with each other for the first time, or at least all the main guys that actually play. But I mean, like, they're all playing with each other for the first time, and that's going to hurt a team a lot. I mean, if you have no chemistry, it's hard to be successful in the NBA, and that showed with the Pelicans that they did have chemistry flaws going into it. And then on top of that, Zion only played half the season, so they had to incorporate him midway through the season. JJ Redick, a veteran, he was his first time playing with any of these guys on the roster. Drew Holiday, another veteran, pretty much his entire starting lineup completely got flipped on its head after the Anthony Davis trade. So everybody was kind of trying to work with each other and find out who's good, how they fit, who works off of who. And I think they were able to find some of that. But now with them also bringing in a new coach, they're going to just have to keep building that chemistry and just keep building off of what they already did last season, while adding in players like Stef van Gundy and whoever they draft into the chemistry and help them build and try to get it a little bit more higher than it already is. So I think an entire season staying healthy and an entire season with the roster as it is, being able to play together, is going to go a very long way for this team and for how good they can potentially be. So, I mean, if their veterans and young guys are able to mesh very good and really get along and really start building off of each other and start working off each other, I think this team could be a very, very successful team going into the future. Now, my last reason for this video is going to be that they need a defense. Now, what I mean by they need a defense is that their offense has consistently, for the past few years now, been consistently one of the best in the entire NBA. That's not their problem. See, their problem is when their defense gives up damn near 130 points a game, and then when your offense can only score 120 points a game, you're going to lose more games than you win. So, I mean, their defense has just been booty butt cheeks for so long, it is crazy. Like, they've been absolutely just awful for so long, and it just sucks. So, I mean, if they are able to get that defense going with Stef van Gundy, who has consistently had pretty good defensive teams, and maybe become elite defensive team like they can be, because they do have the pieces to be a very good defensive team. As I mean, look, Jrue Holiday is consistently an all-defensive team player. Lonzo Ball is a very good defensive point guard, very underrated, very good defensive perimeter guy, high defensive IQ. Jackson Hayes, if he gets smarter, he can be one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. Josh Hart is a very good defender off the bench. Brandon Ingram can definitely get better, and so can Zion Williamson. So if they are able to develop all these guys to get a better defensive game and want to play defense more, they could be a very, very strong and scary team going into the future. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Pelicans can do this? Do you think they can take this next step? What do you think they need to do to take their next step into the NBA? On your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you did like the video, hit the like button, subscribe button. It means the absolute word to me. And like I said, it means so much if you do. I mean, it just helps to get the video out there. It helps YouTube promote it more. And really just like helps the channel out altogether and helps me grow, which will then let me make better videos for you guys. So yeah, hit the like button and subscribe button. It means the absolute word to me. Hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.